ahead, too. I probably feel a little sick.
The Clippers will miss the playoffs after letting Paul George go. That's embarrassing in your new arena, but even worse considering the Thunder will get their draft pick. Depending on how bad this next year is, OKC could get another top 5 player. But before we all dunk on the Clips, the Paul George trade actually made sense at the time. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but think about it. No one knew Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I mean, we didn't know SGA was going to be this good. But they traded a lot. They traded a lot to get Paul George. They traded a hell of draft picks. Them draft picks turned into very good draft picks for OKC. Now they rebuilt. I mean, it was a good rebuild for OKC, man.
Alexander would be this good. The trade got them PG and Kawhi, both all-NBA players in their 20s. I mean, yeah, Kawhi had injuries, but dude literally just won the Finals MVP. And that same year, KD left the Warriors, so their dynasty was over. Somebody was going to take control. Why not the Clippers? The trade instantly made them championship favorites. For a team with zero positive history, that made sense. I mean, that's why you hoard assets, right? SGA, a million picks, to pull the trigger on a big deal. But at some point, they lost the trade. Was it when they blew a 3-1 lead in the bubble? When SGA became an all-star? When OKC drafted Jalen Williams with the Clippers pick? Well, they definitely lost when Paul George left. Now, they have no choice but to win. But the problem is LA's win total is set at 40.5 games. So bad, it would have missed the play-in last year in the West, 12th place. So, the Clippers made a ton of moves this offseason that went under the radar, but the most expensive one was their new arena. The Intuit Dome cost $2 billion, which is weird because Steve Ballmer said he didn't want to do that. When I acquired the team, I was very delighted that I wouldn't have to build a new arena. Seriously, because any other team I looked at any time, whether I was Seattle for a while, Sacramento, Milwaukee, they all needed arenas. But within 6 months, he started working on a new arena. Why? Because Ballmer saw how miserable it was to be the Clippers at Staples Center. They were 4th priority behind the NHL Kings, the Lakers, and concerts, so they got the worst time. Last year, had 10 afternoon games, went 5-5, and were down double digits in all those games. So, Intuit features 5 basketball courts, including 1 outdoors, a high-tech Halo board, and the wall with seats from floor to ceiling for home court advantage. But the problem is price. I had a look at opening night against the Suns. The cheapest seats behind the basket were high 300s on the first-hand market.
Nigga, damn.
Secondhand is ridiculous. $3,000 for lower bowl. You can sit courtside at most places for that. Now that is just for the first game, but it ain't cheap. So given
17,000 courtside, god damn.
Why did they let Paul George go? I mean, yeah, the new CBA is scary, but it still made no sense. They gave Kawhi 3 years, $152 million, which is a discount. And PG said, yeah, I'll take that. But instead, LA offered 2 years, $60 million, which he found disrespectful. Then they didn't counteroffer until the All-Star break, affecting Paul George's mentality, so he broke off talks until after the season. Then they finally offered the Kawhi deal, but Paul had just had a healthy year, played great, so he said, I'll take it with a no-trade clause. Those are rare in the NBA, but PG figured, look, if you're gonna trade me anyway, I should just go to another team now and maximize my money. I won't sacrifice just for you to trade me. And Ballmer's got a history of this. They signed Blake Griffin to a supermax, face of the franchise, but a few months later, dealt him to Detroit out of nowhere. So PG said, I want myself to be safe, or you can just give me that 4th year now. LA said no to all of it. At that point, he was done. It makes no sense because up to this point, the Clips said, screw our future. We're going all in. I mean, they did it for the PG Kawhi trade. Then they doubled down to get James Harden. Like, they had no picks right until 2027. Then they said, screw it. We'll trade all our picks again to get Harden. Oh, and now they're worried about the future. Oh, a 4th year for Paul George or a no trade clause? No, I think we're going to play it safe. Why now? So LA has 2 choices. They can either win now, trade for more stars, free agents, whatever, or abort mission and get their picks back. We just saw this with the Nets. Brooklyn tried their super team, and when it didn't work, they had to trade all their pieces to get their picks back from Houston. But LA says, we're gonna win. None of the experts think they can do it.
It's all of James
but
Harden
LA
hoops, though,
plans
bro.
to shock the world. Out went PG.
It's literally all of James Harden hoops, and Kawhi can stay healthy. If that doesn't happen, they don't win. Like, it's simple as that. Let's continue the rest of the video, man.
And Russell Westbrook in James Harden, re-signing him, Nicholas Batum, Derek Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, and Kevin Porter Jr. So like it or not, James Harden is the replacement for Paul George. He's 35 years old, always a disappointment in the postseason. But before the All-Star break, Beard was amazing. 18 points a game with 8 assists, really efficient, and an elite playmaker. Dude led the NBA in assists in 2023, was 4th last season. The one thing LA has missed the entire PG Kawhi era is a great point guard. Harden's not that MVP scorer from 5 years ago anymore, but PG took 17 shots a game. Most of those will be going to the Beard. NBA 2K doesn't think he can do it. Look, I'm not super into these ratings, but dude got an 84. For context, that is 1 point better than Tyler Hero and Kyle Kuzma, just below Rudy Gobert and Bradley Beal. Now, off the bench, they still have six-man Norm Powell, who's awesome, but there are 2 big problems. First is backup center. Right now, it's Ivica Zubac. His backup is Mo Bamba. Great song, not a great NBA player. And who's backing up James Harden? Well, they've got Terrence Mann, Chris Dunn, Bones Highland, which is why they gambled on Kevin Porter Jr. Domestic violence issues, but that's how desperate they are. The one thing that can fix all of this, at least a little, is Ty Lue. He's one of the most creative, best coaches in the NBA. And Harden plus Kawhi are at least a good positional fit. They make sense. Behind them, long 3-and-D wings like Derek Jones, Terrence Mann, and Nick Batum. So if it wasn't for injuries,
still in the league.
this actually works. They make the playoffs. But if not for injuries, is what we've been saying this entire time. I mean, Team USA says they let Kawhi go for a knee issue. Maybe that's a good thing. He got all that time to rest up. But I think they're going to make a big run out of the gate while everyone's healthy. I guarantee you, 1 month into the season, all the experts will be taking their Clippers predictions back. The problem, obviously, is sustaining that success, being consistent over a long season. So let's look at the West. Now, I've already said in previous videos, the Clips probably missed the playoffs. But look at this. Last year's top 8 was OKC, Nuggets, Wolves, Clippers, Mavs, Suns, Lakers, and Pels. I think
Lakers 7th. Come on, bro. Why is it disrespecting the Lakers?
2 teams are going to sneak in this year. Grizzlies, Warriors. So whose spots do they take? Well, I guess let's delete the Lakers and the Pelicans. I don't know who it's going to be. It's the most competitive West in years. Some really good teams will get left off. And if that's the Clips, they're screwed. Here's what they still owe from the Paul George trade. They owe a 2025 swap and a 2026 unprotected first to OKC for PG. Then they owe a 2027 swap to OKC for James Harden and a 2028 unprotected first and 2029 swap to Philly. So if this season doesn't work and the experts are right, it's a nightmare. And at that point, I expect the Clippers.
Yeah, they're cooked. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Clippers, you better lock in this year, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. If y'all don't lock in, y'all can fry it. If y'all want more videos, stay tuned, man.